somebody else said it too.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay. Hello. So, this is a meeting about nothing to get. This is a meeting where you can't find an answer, where are no answers, because everything is already it. And that's very strange, because in this seemingly world, in your life, it seems always that there's something missing, something not right yet, and that we need to find what's better, or need to do a lot of work to find a good way for living. Wait. And this message is saying, no, that's a misunderstanding. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing right either. It's what it is. And that's very simple, very normal. Can be a tree or a leaf falling, or it's just a hand. And it's not about you, because there is no you. That's also a part of this message, is about there's no one. There's no one inside. So we are so like, I am here and this is my life. And what can I do to make it better, or what not do, or think. Everything is about doing or not doing. And then suddenly there's hearing this message and saying, oh, there's no one. So it's not about nothing to do. This is saying there's no one. So there's nothing inside and everything goes by itself. Life is going just like that. And on top of that, and that's what the dream and the whole thing of me is, on top of that, we assume that there's a free will and a choice, and we can make things work. And because the belief is so embodied and so seems so real, then it's seen like that. It's seen like really there is a choice, and maybe I didn't make the right choice because it's not happening, but when I work harder or when I do something else, maybe it will work. So there's a drive, always a drive to make it right, because underneath everything, there seems to be, when there's me and when there's a feeling of separation, I'm here and here is the world and other people, then there's always a feeling like there's something not right yet. There's something gone wrong. There's something missing. And when there's something missing, something gone wrong, there's a huge drive, and it's an embodied feeling that makes trying to make it right. And you look in the world, everything, if you see the news and everything, it's always about there's something wrong and how to make it right. That's seems the normal way of living. Saying maybe there's some positive feelings, or always trying to deal with what's going on. And when there's this message of saying there's no one, so there's no one doing anything. It's not us who living our lives. Life is. So there's nothing going on about choice or free will. There's no choice. There's no free will. There's there's what's happening, and that's it. And it doesn't mean that we are able to. No, we are not able to anything. It's just what is. What it feels like when there's me, and that whole construct is built up in a way like I am here and I have an identity and I did a lot of things and now it's going a bit better, and oh, maybe now it's worse, but when I do that and that, maybe it's going better, and all that. There's a lot of investment trying to make it work. And seeing like, oh, this is a good way and this is bad. Oh, wait. So that identity seems to be very important. That's leading your life. That helps, like doing the right thing or feeling good about yourself or about things that happen around you. And this has nothing to do with feeling good. It's not about feeling good. That's strange, because in life, in life in the dream of me, you could say, in the story. It's always about how to feel good and how to move away from pain and trying to figure out how you can do that. This is more like it's what it is. So there can be pain, and there's nothing trying to change it. That doesn't mean you stay and then when your arm is broken, then you don't do anything because this is what it is. That's something else. That's another doing. It's what's happening. So maybe there's going to a doctor or a hospital or not going. I don't know. I don't know. There's only not knowing. And when there's me, knowing seems to be really important to know, to be clear about what's the best way, reading a lot of things or trying to work it out. And then suddenly there's hearing this message, and that makes that whole working, that dealing with it, working out and all that, like it's not important at all. You can do it. It can be done like that. There can be a lot of thoughts and things going on like that, but it has no power at all. It doesn't have anything to do with what's going on, with what seems to happen. So that what's happening is without any reason. It's just energetic going on like that, and there's no one doing that. So there are no relations, there's no time. And when there's no time, there's also no before and no after. That's huge because before and after, that's how we live, like consequences. And you did that before and you promise me that you don't do it again and all that about consequences and trying to behave in a good way. And then suddenly that's out of the window. That's your life. That's the way you deal with everything and you're busy with whatever is going on. And then suddenly there's hearing this message, no, there are no consequences. There's no time. There's just this. There's nothing else. And we've seen when there's me, everything is seen as solid and real. It's an appearance. It's an appearance. It's nothing is happening. And in the same time, there seems to be an appearance of bodies and chairs and things going on. But it's this, and that's it. There's no continuation. There's no development. It's what it is. That's it. It's really very simple and very free, but it can also be very frightening because we're so used that it's, in a way, it's solid and it's real. So we can grasp it and do something with it or think about it. And this has nothing to do with that. So it's so free, it can be frightening. It can be a relief, like nothing to do with, oh, work it out and go on and go on. And in the same time, it's completely free. It has nothing to do with circumstances, with whatever happens, because it's everything already. It's everything. There's nothing more important than something else. That's amazing. That's nothing is more important than something else. It's what it is. And when there's me, there's always, oh, this feels better, this is nice, this is awful, this is good. That is when there's a looking at it and noticing and a looking at it, there's always trying to say, there's always something going on like, do I like it? Do I not like it? Is this good for me? Is it not good? Feels good for me? Not, is it not feeling good for me? Things like that. Everything is about me, and that seems to be the center of your life. That's the most important thing there is, there seems to be. And then there's this message and saying, no, there's no center. Nothing is more important than anything else. It can be a floor or there can be this face. Yeah, that's it. It's neutral. So it's going nowhere. And it has absolutely no meaning at all. Whoa, that's so free. And that's what it is. So it can be a feeling, It can be the wall. It's everything. It's everything already. So the looking for it is just that energy. That's it. Looking for it is hiding that it's already there. But it's so you can understand it maybe in a certain way, but in the same time, this message can't be understood. This is energetic. This is so crazy in a way. You don't need to understand it. It doesn't need. It's drinking water. So what is there to understand? It's already what's happening. So there's no need to understand at all. There can be an understanding, but so what? So we can talk about that, and you can ask any question. And there's also, can there be questions in the story, or any question can happen or can be there. So we'll see, and we see what's happening in the meeting.
Hey Rose.
Mm. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Hi. Yeah, there must be absolutely nothing to understand because, as you say,
Mm.
it is very strong and it has no power. It is
Uh,
the way.
that whole me, that me structure of all those thoughts coming and did that dry. Yeah, no, not really. It goes nowhere. It's going nowhere. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just this that you can say it's so strong and it has no power. As a
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
absolutely not to understand.
Yeah. 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 Oh,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
just
that's true.
yeah yeah
Yeah, I didn't realize. Yeah. 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 True.
yeah
Yeah. You're right.
yeah. There it was just this, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. It's such a drive to make it right or to understand or to and it's going nowhere because it's already that what's happening. That's amazing. Oh my god, it's a really long chat. Wow. What? Oh my god, that is I'm I'm reading it. There's only what is, and it's chaos and free fall. However, the story seems linear and logical. It's mostly predictable. The actions of the characters seems to react to each other into action. In general, a person's life moves along a constant track, successful or needy. The person's oh wait. The persons are loved or not loved by others. Someone is smart or isn't. Da da da. Are the Are the apparent actions really connected? Two, do they influence each other? Do they influence each other in the story? Where does the patterns of life come from? No, there are no connections. There are no connections. It's what it is. So there's just that. There's no this happens because of that, and this is all that. No, there's just one. There's only one. You can't understand that. Where does the pattern of life comes from? It doesn't come from anything. Life is. It just is. So that's it. That's how I see it. Or is it only the mind that can thread them into a logical and permanent film? And on what basis do the empty bodies carry the conditions? It's very complicated when those questions seems I can't even I don't know. It's just what's happening. So there's nothing is real. So everything is an appearance. So the body seems real, but this is just body. That's it. Nothing else. There's no carrying, there's no connections, there's no story. Me is the story. And in the story, there seems to happen a lot of things. We seem to understand things. How does it work? Like, how does it work like this? How does it work like that? There are no answers. There are no answers. It's just a story. And the story is not important at all. It's what it is. That's already that. So we don't need to understand. There's nothing to say. That's what is. That's it. And the story is part of that me. And in that me and in that whole construct, we're trying to work it out and trying to understand and how the connections work and how everything is going. And knowledge is really an important thing in the dream of me. This is not about knowledge. This is unknowing, not knowing anything. Hmm. The me thinks it's about me and it doesn't. No, it's not about me. That's and me is that is always busy. Me is always busy. Like I'm the center, and it's not really. Maybe it's not understanding, but it's just busy with trying to feel good and trying to feel better and develop and things like that. Because there's underneath, there's that subtle or more stronger feeling. I'm not good enough. There's something wrong. It's not enough. There's all that, and that can be so strong. And we are so looking into the story and connecting it with circumstances. Oh, because of that happened, I'm feeling like this and all that, and maybe I can work on it and things like that. That's in the story. It's can be like that, and then there's hearing this and just no answer. And it's not about me. There is already no one, so nowhere to go. Oh, there's another one. Hi, Rose. Sometimes I feel we are privileged people who does not experience hunger or violence. These are very nice words. Yesterday at my country, a woman was abused, and I'm so sad about it. And feel all talk about everything is freedom is not smart, not down to earth, because life can be horror. Sorry for my words. No, it's okay. Of course, you can be seen like that, but there can be sadness. But we think when there's hearing some news from that, and there's a feeling, it's connected. That's so the normal way of seeing things, that because of that, now I'm feeling like this and everything. There can be sadness. Then that's it. But it's without reason. And that's strange because we're so into reason and why and because and all that. And then suddenly there's hearing this message. There's no because, there's no why, even there's no answer. That's what is. And that doesn't mean it's nice. There can be hunger, or there can be pain or sadness, but it's just when there's information, it's a story. That seems very famous. We're watching television and we think everything is really happening over there. It's information from somewhere. That's it. We're so used to see a world. Where's the world? There's just this. There's this room, that's it. And we assume that there's another world and another country and other people outside. There's no outside. There can be a memory or maybe a knowing somewhere, but that's just a knowing or information. This is really very literally. There's no behind. There's no outside. There's also no inside. We assume that there's an inside. I don't see an inside. It's really with all the senses like hearing or seeing, feeling. Can be a feeling or a hearing of something, but that's it. Don't know where it comes from, don't know what it is, just a hearing. And it can be a response, but it just comes out like that by itself. Life is going by itself, and we think we are the ones who leading it. That's the misunderstanding, that there's someone inside, a center of someone identity that's able to choose and to have with a free will do the things that need to be done or are important. There's already no one. So things are happening. Does it mean it's nice? Of course not. It's everything. This is very down to earth. It's so not no escape in any way. It's that what's happening without any change. And what me does is always trying to assume like, oh, this is, oh, why is that happening? And oh, this is because of that. Oh, that's very awful. It should not be like this. And it's go on. And it's living in a dream world, which isn't real. This is where there's a feeling and sadness, then there's sadness, like that, for no reason. That's it.
Sometimes it looks there is a development, but it isn't.
No, we are so into that. So it's so, it's such a wanting to have a development because you want to feel better after a while or see that for yourself. So you have a memory like, oh, before it was like this and now it's much better. It's very tempting and it doesn't matter, but it's a bit confronting to hear that there's no development. Like, oh my God, that's because everything is about development and going better and finally solving problems or things like that. And then there's hearing like, oh, there's no development. It's going nowhere. Oh my God, that's something else. Like you're left with nothing in your hands. And that's what we think we can do. We can do something. We have something to grasp and to do. And then suddenly it's not there. And then, oh, then there's can be, oh, it's about something else. This is another possibility. This is not in the story. We are so living in the story and doing things and thinking about what, this is outside of the story. We're not used to that. And you can't even understand that, but somewhere there can be a resonance of something like, oh, there's something about it. Well, yeah. There's another one. It's hard to see. There's no difference between the floor and feeling thoughts. Yeah, but you don't need to see that. It's already something like hearing that. It's already like, oh, and if you see it or not see it, doesn't matter. It's just, I don't know why it's said like that, but it's energetic. So it doesn't need to understand. You don't need to see it or like, oh, how try to work that out. Like, oh, so the floor is it say like, no, you can't. Or it comes in and it's like, oh, or not. And then, okay, then it's like that. It seems like it's different. Oh, there's still a bit. It's so sunny suddenly. So, yeah, you can't grasp it. When there's me, there's always a looking at it or a noticing. So then there's, oh, how is this? Oh, what is this? Because there seems to always a relation to you. When they're seeing the floor, it's related to you like, oh, it's nice, or it feels good, or things like that. When there's no one, it's just the floor. Yeah. And there's already no one, but it feels so that there's someone and there's a center. It can be very convincing or normal. Oh, down to earth, meaning if someone is traumatized, I will take him to therapy or treatment that to deal with that trauma instead of saying your trauma is just a story. I'm not saying to someone your trauma isn't just a story. No, I'm not doing that. It's in the meeting, it's saying the story trauma is a story. But when there's somebody coming to me and talking about something, I don't know what the response is. With friends, I'm not speaking like this. It's just not, maybe there's for, oh, what? But yeah, there's, so I can't say, this is not saying to someone with a trauma, and maybe in a meeting, it's something else, because this is a meeting about that non-duality. And maybe when there's an opening for that, then they're seeing that trauma is already a story. There is just what is. That doesn't mean that I'm saying to someone, oh, you're just in the story. That's awful, because that's a bit like sweeping somebody away or something like that. There can be a response, but I don't know what I will say. That's different. Can be, oh, I don't know, or just a response in that. It's energetic, so I don't know what's going on. But there's nothing going on like trying to change it and trying to deal with things. So I don't know what's coming. So there's nothing going on like you have to do something or this. No, I don't know. Maybe I do. I don't know. So this is not like a way of living. Not saying like, oh, now know that everything is a story, so now I'm saying to everybody, oh, but this is just a story. That's a concept. Of course, you're right. That's a concept. So this is, you can't say how it is, and you can't say what is coming to someone who says like I'm traumatized. I don't know. I don't know. You don't know. Maybe there's something else. It's energetic. What's going on? And they're saying that's what's happening. This is not a way of living or a way of saying you can react like that or things like that. I don't know. It's a describing that me is the story. It's a story about what's wrong and how to make it right. And there's a suggestion that there's nothing wrong. It can be painful. There can be pain, but there's nothing wrong. That's it. Wow. All right. So there's also no relation with the body. No, there's no relation at all. There can be body. It's not your body or my body. It can be body, seeing a body. Yeah, that's it. It's empty. It's an appearance. Everything is an appearance. That maybe it's not seen like that. Then it's not seen like that. There's a suggestion like, oh, this is an appearance like that. Yeah, it's seen like that. So what is the difference between us and your family? Oh, I mean, we will not get there. Is no story anywhere. There is no us and there is no family. There's no difference, of course not. There's what is. So there's no family. No. And there's no us also. I'm not seeing someone. So can be a face, or there can be a writing and saying something about it. But I'm not seeing someone. No, there is no one. So there can be a response on what's being said. That's it. That's not different. There's no difference here than somewhere else. I don't know what will happen. There's no relation. So there's what comes up, and that's everything. So it's just what comes up. That's it. And we're always in that, oh, did I say the right thing? Or I should have done that differently. Or you can't say that to me. Or oh, blah, 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 blah. That makes everything what's going on. It makes it, we assume that it's something else, and it's on top of that, and then it becomes very complicated. This is just that. This is the reaction. This is the response. That's it. I don't know why. It's just that. There's nothing wrong with anything. There can be pain, but it isn't because of a response. It's just pain, like that. It's only there's one, and when there's two, there's so much complication, because there's looking into it and thinking, oh, but this is not right, and you should do that, and the whole story about suffering. This is one. There's only one, and there's just what's happening. That can be a feeling. That can be the table. It's very, very ordinary and simple and tiny. And if I mean we will not get there, is no story anyway. How did we get there? I don't understand that. We will. There's nowhere to go. It seems like there's somewhere to go. When there's me, there's somewhere to go, because we need to make it right, and we need to heal, and we need to all that. There's nothing wrong, and that's the huge misunderstanding. But it's so embodied and so convincing that there's something wrong, and we need to make it right, or we can do some healing for somebody and anything. And this is a suggestion, like, whoa, there's nothing wrong with anything. Wow, that's something else, but you can't work it out. It can be pain. It's not about being nice.
Hey, Rose. Good morning.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. I feel like a contracted reaction in my body, like hearing this message right now, or whatever, this conversation, and it feels as if it feels painful. And I like when you were describing this mechanism, I call it mechanism now, how we try to work it out. It's like, yes, I can see that I try to work it out. Then I try to immediately, I observe it inwardly, so to speak, and then I try to work it out immediately.
Yeah, sure. That's so quickly done.
Yeah.
It's not you doing that. It's just going like that. It's just thoughts, and that's just it's energetic. It's going like that. Yeah.
But it's not feeling comfortable. It feels very uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, but feeling uncomfortable can happen here too.
And
that's what's happening. So that's it. That's it. Yeah, of course. And then there can be a feeling seems like in the body, or you don't know if it's in the body, but it doesn't matter. Then that's what's happening. That can, Yeah, and then something else is going, or I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we think, and that's that drive. There's a jumping on it and then do something with it because, oh, what's going on here? And then da 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 da. That's so quick. And then that's here. That's suggestion like, oh, it's just what's happening, and that can be like that, and then it changes, and and we think it's because of us. No, it just changes, and then it's that, and then it's that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lovely. Yeah. Thanks for chatting.
Yeah, it's so we're so into the story and to think like, oh, this is what's happening now, and I'm doing this, and I'm again in that whole construct, like trying to do something about it. No, you're not. It's just that there can be thoughts, there can be a feeling, it can be like, yeah, can happen. Yeah, it's energetic. So that body, that's just goes. Mm.
Isn't the me a troublemaker?
Can be, yeah. Yeah. It loves complication and trying to work it out and do things. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So this just, I guess it's a story in a way. I spent a lot of time meditating and trying to iron out the me, make it really calm.
Oh yeah. Mm.
And then I started spending a lot of time for work with what I perceive as a heavy me. And I feel scared that I'll lose myself to like this contagious energy of me. And I wondered what you thought about that.
Yeah, well, when there's me, there's also a fear of losing, the fear for nothing, to losing itself. That's the fear. There's trying to find freedom, but in the same time, it's afraid of just being lost, and then there's nothing left. So that's both of that. So it's an endless going on, like, oh, and then it's going, because then it's trying to make it feel like I exist, so I can do something about it, and I'm really gonna. And then you have so much energy put in that, and then you're like exhausted, like I can't go on anymore. I'm exhausted, and then you can. But then it goes, and then suddenly like, oh my god, but there's and then it just starts again. It's a circle, but it's so strong. It doesn't. Most of the time, it's not seen like that, and it seems like a development and things going on, but it's so strong, and it's a fear. It can be a fear, but a fear, that's it. Can be fear, not for a reason, just fear. That's it.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with anything. So there can be fear, there can be a lot of meditating. Why not? There can be meditating. So going nowhere, but unless meditating, then why not? Nothing is wrong. It's what it is. That's more it. We make it like there's a meaning, and because of that, I feel more quiet and da 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 da. And no, there can be like feeling just quiet. I don't know, for no reason. It's not because of anything. And that's amazing, because that's what we are not used to. We are so into cause and effect.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Mm. There's a question. Does seeing happen by itself without there being looking? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Just seeing. Yeah. Everything's by itself. Life is just seeing or sitting or tabling. Yeah. Very simple. Ah. So yeah, so nice. You said in the beginning we can do what we want, sleeping, not listening. In this world, there are so much expectation, things we should do, how to behave. Yeah. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. And that's so what we long for in a way too. Like, oh, everything what's happening is it. Wow, it's amazing. And then there's that whole me thing like, oh, but it can't be that because then maybe there's nothing going on and it won't change. And then da 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 da. And it seems to important to behave in a certain way. And then that. And there's a longing for that. Whatever is happening is it. Sleeping or not saying anything or anything. And it's not about us. Well, that's a strange one because we're so into our lives and how to deal with things and maybe this is nice or not. And then hearing there's no one, that's, wow, that's something else. It seems that this apparent me needs a relationship, comparison, conflict, cause and effect to sustain itself. But it's not this, only this apparent me, it's the apparent me. It's everywhere. You're not the only one, of course. No, it's just what it seems like because there seems to be something missing. It's not full or not complete. So there's looking for a relation or looking for, yeah, everybody is different. Money, power can be, everything can be, or like healing to feel more relaxed. It's always looking for something that seems to be the solution. And then it's confirming that I'm capable of doing that, and then it goes on and goes on, but it goes on confirming that there's still something not right and I'm able to do something about it. And there's a suggestion here that there's nothing wrong, that there's no one, and that there's nothing wrong. It's what it is. And then It doesn't mean you can do that, but that can be a hearing, and then it's energetic. I don't know what's going on in these meetings. There's no answer to all the questions that can be there, like how can I do this and how can I do that? There are no answers here. So that when that whole me construct is not confirmed, then it falls apart. It needs confirming and being busy with it. But in these meetings, it isn't confirmed and it's not seen like there's someone. So it falls apart. It's all different ways.
So nothing is happening.
Nothing is happening.
Yes.
Only it's an appearance. So there
Yes.
seems to be windows and everything, but it's an appearance. So yeah, like
So
in the
even
desert. So
yeah.
yeah,
Even the
yeah,
wind is an appearance.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, wind is even more like you can see like, oh yeah, that's just wind. That's it. Nothing else. So that's because it's the seeing of things that can make it a lot of times more solid, because seeing it is seeing like a border and it's solid and it's real and circumstances. Hearing is already something else, or a sense or a feeling. It's already, oh, that's, you can't even so much grasp it. You can try, but yeah.
No, it's not possible.
Yeah.
But sometimes I find it strange that we learn the children at the school how the eye is working.
Yeah, but that's how it goes. It's not wrong. It's how it goes. It's so hoe zeg je dat? Convincing. That's how it goes. But it's not me doing that. That's just going. It's just, that's how it's working in this whole mystery of how everything is going. It's a mystery. It's, how does it work? I can't say. It's complete, like, whoa. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's no whole world where everything is happening. That's what we assume, that there's a whole world and there's countries and there's happening something to people. That's a dream. There's just this. That's very obvious, like hands and table and a wall. There's no outside. Where's the outside? We are so able to abstract everything and imagine that there's a world, and we have images, and we know that there's something happening, and we know how people feel. I don't know. But it's amazing how strong that whole knowing is, and information. And it's assuming that everything is real and that's confirmed, and that, so it makes me also like I'm here. So it goes on, makes it even more solid. Oh wow. There's a lot of sun here. Yeah. There's just this, and the story is just a story without any importance. Nothing is serious. We are so into it. This is important because it's about me and wanting to feel good, and it's becoming serious, and nothing is serious. Doesn't mean there's just a normal conversation and then laughing about. It's not laughing all the time, of course. It's just, but it's not really serious. No, can't be. It's like little children. They're also not really serious. It's like they're seeing there's something else. Yeah.
And then the reactions of the body are also meaningless.
Everything is meaningless. Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
Yeah.
It's just what it is.
Yeah.
We think, and on top of that, we make it into something like, oh, this has to do with, oh my God, this is again, I feel again some pain here. And oh, I had it yesterday too, maybe. And then, oh, wow. That's so strong. Yeah. It's so convincing, like feeling I'm someone and this is real and the body is real, and making everything into something, because that there's only nothing, that's too frightening. So there's content and continuously trying to make it real and to go on and try to solve it and to go on, because when it falls apart, that's so can be so frightening. But it's sometimes it's not even so much felt, but it underneath it can be a threat. Yeah. Then everything goes wrong when I don't do anything. I did have that. Yeah. Yeah. Could it be said the world is a common convention? I don't know what that is. Convention. It's an
Like an
appearance.
overtuiging.
Oh, it's yeah, it's a yeah, that's it. It's like, oh, we're assuming that it's really there, and then you assume the same thing, and maybe we assuming something different, but it seems like we're assuming the same thing, and then suddenly it means like, oh, but I thought it was that. No, it's like that. Oh, no, and then it goes on and it goes on. It's so it's endless. Yeah. There's no world. Where's the world? It's a dream. There's no outside. There's also no inside. And then people say, yeah, but when there's an operation, of course. And then that's what's happening. But it's, it's just, that's all stories trying to, trying to convince yourself, or me, maybe me, like that everything is really there. When there's a table, then there's that table, and it's an appearance. So it's there, apparently there, and it's not in the same time. It's crazy. It's just, there's nothing happening, and it's only can be an appearance. So it's not there, and it's apparently there together. What, you can't even imagine what that is. Or, yeah, so there's nothing to grasp. We assume everything is solid and real. That makes it important. That circumstances are real and caused by something. It's a dream. Mhm. What do you think of the statement, I am that, which we hear so often spoken about in non-duality circles? I wouldn't say that. No, I'm not that. There's no I. So how can I say I'm that? No, of course not. There's no I. This empty. It's empty. Where's the I? I don't see an I. So no, I wouldn't say that. It's much more simple. It's just there's no one. Very simple. And there's moving a hand and everything goes by itself. This message is so simple and ordinary and nothing special about it. It can't be understood, but that's also very, yeah, why not? When there's no understanding, it doesn't matter. There's just drinking water and then that's it. What's there to understand? It just goes by itself, so there's no need to understand. There can be an understanding maybe, but so what? It's what it is. It's moving the hand by itself. It's life going by itself. That's it. No center. That's it. And there's a lot of talking about this in that understanding. There can be a lot of understanding and being clear about that non-duality. And I hear that. Well, yeah, I'm not so interested in that. What about yin and yang? It's, yeah, I don't know. That's another way of dealing with two. And they're saying that, yeah. Then there's yin and yang. I don't know. It's trying to understand and trying to work it out and doing this is more yin, so you should eat more yang or so. I don't know. I'm not so into it. So maybe there's a lot of things about it. It can be very nice, maybe. I'm not into that. It's what it is. That's it. There's no two. There's only one. There's only one. And we are when there seem to be me, then there seem to be me and another person, me and the world, me and a feeling, my feeling. So everything seems to be two. And then when there's two, there's trying to work it out and seeing like, how can we deal with that? And then there's this suggestion, there's no one. So there's only one, a feeling, the table. That's it. That's nothing to work out. No need. Can be thoughts, then there can be thoughts, then they're thoughting. And nothing has any meaning. Whoa, that's, oh, wow. You're so into meaning. Mm. This has a reason. This happened, and it has to be a reason for what it happened. Oh, it's amazing. It's not wrong, but that's how that whole dream of me is working, trying to work it out and try to give meaning and maybe get it feel some better about her of himself. Or it's going on. It's so strong. It's not wrong. It's just what's happening. It's just life, energetic, going on. Another one. How would it be possible to be clear when there's only nothing and everything? Yeah, there can be a lot of when there's when there's hearing this message, and it can be an understanding of being clear about this. Yeah, can be. And it can be talking about that and explaining and that. Yeah, and still there's something, a knowing in it, just a knowing. Yeah. That's also everything. There's the knowing. The knowing is the everything. It can be very convincing, and there's something going on trying to make it clear. I don't know, it's so different. And it's not in the words. This message is not in the words. There can be a talking, and then maybe concepts are not that strong anymore. That can happen in these meetings. But underneath the words, it's something else is happening. It's energetic. When people are talking together about this, then there's something else also. It's underneath. And that's the energetic thing. That can be like how do you say that? It's like a little spy in that system, and it's not even noticed, but it's like that underneath going. But somewhere there's something about it. There's something else, and then it can be. And it can be trying to understand and to be clear about what's being said. And there can be a hearing like, oh, it's no need to understand. There's, oh, can be like that. It's so different. Everybody's different. Yeah. This is not about understanding. It's already what's going on. It's already the sitting, is it? That's it. All thoughts. Can the me turn this message into an understanding and experience and believe it has got a message? Yeah, of course it can. That's what happens a lot of times. Yeah, sure. Yeah. It's so tempting to understand and finally got it and then think, oh yeah, now it's really clear and gives a good feeling. Yeah, sure. It's not wrong. It's just what it is. Well, it's a concept. Wow. This is not about to get it. It's about loss. And me doesn't want to lose everything. It's everything. So there's also no that Rose got it or that she has no me anymore. No, then there's still something to have. It's all lost. So there's also no Rose. The whole construct or identity, that's lost. It's just not there. So there's maybe that face. That's it. That's nothing else left. So what? Goes by itself. So there's walking or, well, it has nothing to do with Rose or, no, of course not. It's not important.
But there can be still a kind of a pattern to be good enough.
No, there's not being
No,
busy with anything. So
no,
that
not that you, but I think
oh,
here is still that pattern is there.
yeah. Well, that's part of that me is thinking. There's also not only thinking, but it's so embodied, believing that there's something not good enough, and that can be because of my youth or whatever. If we have a reason, we think there's a reason. It's a misunderstanding, but it's so embodied. You can't say to yourself, "Oh no, it's not true." Yeah, you can say it, but that's just very superficial. It's energetic. Can be very strong, and sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not there. It's, I don't know. We make it into something. It's not something like, oh, all the time I'm still in that. No, it's not like that. It's sometimes it's there, and then suddenly it's just walking, and then, yeah. There's no story. We think we live in a story, but there's no story. A lot of times there are no stories. Just doing the dishes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that, but it's more, I started a new job last year, and sometimes there's a kind of a sense that I'm doing that I want good enough because I want to stay there, something like that. But I know it's not necessary, of course, but it's.
But you can't do it differently. That what's
Yeah.
going on is just what's going on, and you can do your best at anything, but you don't know. You don't know.
Yeah.
That's the fear. It's not in our hands, and we want some control, like trying to do something about it, and then hearing there's no control, like, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, that can be frightening. You don't know.
Yeah.
Yet there is a function of what Rose would do, even thought there is no Rose. Rose would not act like Mary. There is apparent continuity. It seems like that from the outside, yeah. But that's how we look at things, that we see everything as like, because we think the body is there all the time and Rose is there, so she's a character like that, and she's different as Mary and things like that. That's in the story. We look at things and people like that. Yeah. Well, there's no Rose. No. There's a functioning, yeah. But it's there too. It's the same. It's no difference. It's functioning, like crossing streets and walking and eating. I don't know. That's just going. It's going by itself, and we think we do it. That's more the suggestion that there's no one. It's just live already. There's no one doing that. It's an appearance. Rosing. It's the appearance rosing. Yeah, it seems like that. But it's, if you say rosing, it's like there is a whole character of that. No, I don't see that. It can be in the story. When we talk in the story, they can be like, oh, Rose is a bit like that, or yeah, of course, it can be like that. But it's just a story. Can change. Then you look at it and you say, Rose is a bit like that, and the next day you say, oh, Rose is a bit like, and that's completely something else. Can be so different also. I don't know. I couldn't say I'm like that. I don't know. No. Well, who cares? That was me once. There's continuation. And there's no continuation. There's just this, and it's just already new, something new. And it's new. And then it's didn't happen before. It's like we think, oh, it was before, it was like that. No, that's a memory. There's no before. There's no before. It's just new. It's and it's new. So it's only that. There's nothing continuation that seems like, oh, this is happening and that's then. No, it's new. It's just that. It's an appearance. It's not real, but it seems to be like hands or anything. It's just that. That's it. And it's, something else. Oh, it's a wonder for no one. Just, oh. It has no meaning. Just walking and then suddenly seeing dirt. Oh, I don't know. Oh, and it's just that. That's it. Then there's something else. Not about Rose. Then there's, I don't know, the sun. It's everything. It's everything. Without a center. And it's new. It's new. Oh, new.
Yeah, here is a little bit the same as Kim Ho, so it's normal, but it feels like huge.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. Can hit you in the face. Yeah.
But it's also is falling in love with whatever what is happening.
Yeah. It's being in love. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
being in love with everything. Yeah, sure. Can be strong or subtle. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. It's being in love. That's life. Mm. Do you still experience wanting? There can be a wanting, but not really serious. No, it can be like, oh, it's raining, I want to have sun, something like that. Not really, and then it's gone, and then it's, wow, then it's raining. Walk in the rain. So, yeah. It's not that there's a liking of everything. That's not that. But there's a love. There's a love. It's unconditional. So there's just everything is love. It's everything. So there's no difference. Then there can be a man walking like, and there's a love. And I don't know. It's just like that, and it's not doing that. It's just that. It's just life is unconditional love. So it's everything. There's nothing excluded. It's not a love for everything. I don't know. It's everything is it. There's nothing going on like this is better than that, or I don't want this or that. No, it's what it is, and there's nothing going on. What normally is that there's somebody looking at it and thinking, oh, this is not nice, or I want something else, or but that's lost. That looking is lost. So there's just what is, and there's nothing coming up trying to change it. So there's no being aware of that feeling. There's that feeling and nothing being busy with that. So then for a while it's that feeling maybe, and then there's something else going on, and it's not about me. So it's not being busy with I am my life or what is going. There's nothing coming up about that. And it's love. It's that. It's wow. And sometimes it's stronger, sometimes it's very subtle and not that wonder, but sometimes it's whoa, it's yeah. It's being in love with everything. It is everything. Yeah. There's nothing missing. It's what it is. There can be anything, and then there can be a feeling of stress. Then that's it. Not even knowing that it's stress, but it's just a feeling somewhere. And it can be walking, and there can be an orange. It's like that. It's very simple, very ordinary, not special at all. And when maybe when that whole construct is not there, and suddenly it's like, oh, oh, yeah, of course. I already knew that, of course, but how could I not see that? But it's overlaid by so many ideas and concepts and beliefs, and it so can be so embodied that how it should be and what is better than that. And suddenly that's lost, and then oh, it's what it is. That was already the case, of course. It's never has been different. But I thought it should be different. And that's lost. That's the only thing that's lost. It should be different. No, it's what it is. Oh, and then, wow, then there's something else about it, because that feeling that there's something wrong, that makes it into a complication looking at that. And suddenly that whole construct, like, oh, there's something wrong with what's going on. It's just that's lost. And circumstances and people and everything is still the same. But it's completely different. It's just what it is. Nothing going on like, do I like it or no? It's what it is. And nothing being busy with it. So a lot of time, no thoughts about anything. Just seeing a person and that's it. Or that, yeah. It's unconditional love. That's life. Life is already there. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Mm. Oh. Oh. Wait, I do the recording.